Hi, Katie. How are you today?
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Are you enjoying the summer weather we're having?
I am, but I have just been literally so busy that I don't know what season it is because I'm either in a plane, a train, a car, or a hotel
Plane, trains, and automobiles. Love it.
or a doctor's office.
True. I have been in and out myself, and when I am outside, I've been paddling myself around in a canoe because all it's doing is raining. But today's nice, so here we are.
Yes, it is
It
a nice day.
it is July 22nd, and we are in the middle of summer. And Katie and I last time were discussing how we wanted to talk about products today. So, are you ready to get down to the nitty gritty?
I am. And I was mentioning to some people that we were doing the podcast on products, and everybody gets so excited because I know that women really want to use good products. They want to have a good regimen, but they really don't know. They just don't know what is necessary, what's not necessary, what is good, what's not good. And not everybody has, the ability to get into a med spa or somewhere to buy pharmaceutical grade skincare, but
Mm-hmm.
we can explain how it's very accessible. Like you don't have to be in the location to get it, and it can be affordable, and it's so much better for your skin than using something I like to call it
Generic.
over the counter.
Mm-hmm. So I also feel for me, and my mom, obviously growing up, my mom used Dial soap. Love you, mom, but Dial soap. Come on, mom. So I think a lot of the industry has changed, and I think that a lot more products are in obviously supermarkets and store like
Online.
Target, online. But I think people get really overwhelmed, and I think a lot of that has to do with so many people trying to run with different companies. And I think a lot of men as well get super overwhelmed. So men never do anything, which there's a market for men as well where they can
Mm-hmm.
get good, affordable skincare. So when people don't have the ability to get into a med spa or, someplace that's, you can go to a cosmetic counter, when they don't have the ability to do that, I hope you and I today can educate them a little bit more on things that they could do. And they could even do it online.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that maybe we should talk about somebody in their 20s today, 30s,
30s, 40 and
40s,
over.
50s.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What
And I
kind of
think,
skin, what kind of conditions, maybe. So everybody's not the same, obviously.
right.
Some women may suffer from rosacea, some women may suffer from sunspots, age spots, melasma. Others, their concern might be fine lines and wrinkles. So everybody has something. Their eyes, some women under eye is a big thing,
Mhm.
crow's feet. So everybody has concerns about their individual face that bothers them. And really, at the end of the day, it's important what bothers them, what they see when they look in the mirror. So different products, will address different concerns better. So we can talk a little bit about the different things that are popular issues for women that, what product is good for those issues.
Perfect. All right, well, let's dive in.
Okay,
I
let's do it.
let's start with cleansers.
Cleansers, yes. And, cleansers are, I think it's skipped a lot. Like people skip the cleanser and maybe just use anything for cleansing.
Like body wash in the
Body
shower.
wash, or maybe nothing, a wash rag, whatever. Maybe they think, or just pick up a cleanser at CVS or Walgreens or a pharmacy somewhere, Sephora, and they don't really think the cleanser is that important. When in actuality, I find the cleanser to be one of the most important steps
First
in my
step,
skincare routine.
number one and most important is how I feel.
Yes,
So
I agree.
I think that when looking for a cleanser for all ages, unless you have extremely sensitive skin, when looking for a cleanser, it's important to see if there's any active acids in cleansers.
Mm-hmm.
And your cleanser sometimes might not be the same morning as it is for night. Um, I personally, when I wear makeup, I like to use a more acid based cleanser at night. So I make sure that I get a lot of the oil off, the makeup off, all the impurities, because I need something a little bit more beneficial to my skin to get like a squeaky clean. In the morning,
Exactly.
I don't feel that I have that issue as much because you've put all your amazing products from the night before and your body was at rest. So it's not like it was being, from damage outside or anything like that. Obviously, if
Mm-hmm.
you are a person that works nights, it's going to be a little bit different, but that's kind of how my schedule is going right now. So I like to use more of an acid-based cleanser in the evening and more of a gentler wash in
In
the
the
morning.
morning when you're not really trying to get makeup off or, oils from the day, just something more simple in the morning because your face is clean.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um, I agree with that. And I mean, my night routine is definitely more intense than my morning,
mm-hmm.
100%, Um, I always joke, my husband says to me when I say I'm going to go wash my face, he says, I'll see you in an hour. And it's kind of like
It's kind of
almost
true.
true. I don't know
It's
if I'm an
therapeutic. I
hour,
think it's
an hour.
therapeutic.
It's my
It's
time. I love it.
it's
Hmm.
not, it's probably not an hour, but, and I always, it's so funny when we say wash and we say cleanse. So in school, I remember years ago, they'd always say, you wash your clothes, you cleanse your skin.
Hmm.
And it's always stuck with me. So I always try to catch myself saying wash, cleanse.
Yes,
So,
it is cleansing.
and I'm glad that you said wash because I said wash earlier
I,
too.
I
So
do say wash a lot, but Um, so anyway, I do like to use a gentle cleanser. So for myself, I can be sensitive when I get more aggressive with my skincare.
Mhm.
So if I am, using a more harsh cleanser, it can start to irritate me a little bit, and then I'll switch to the gentle morning and night if that happens for me. So I kind of, just play it by ear. And I think that, like, a lot of people, when I will help them with a skincare routine, I find that they'll come to me and say, well, everything was going good, but now all of a sudden I am having irritation or whatever. And if that happens, I think that it's okay. Just back off a little bit.
Right.
Just take it down a notch. It doesn't mean it's not working. It just means maybe um, your skin's getting a little overstressed from it. So just give it a break.
Mhm.
Use your gentle products for a day or two, let it calm down, and then go back to your routine. And that's totally fine.
And speaking of cleansers with active acids and being gentle enough, I know that you were able to use the Glytone brightening powder cleanser the last couple weeks.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Can we
so
talk about that for
obsessed.
a minute?
What is, like, where did this come from and why has it not been here for a long time? Like, it is really one of the best products that I've ever used.
So,
Um,
just for all of our listeners that obviously might have jumped in, we're talking right now about cleansers, and Katie and I's new favorite, I think, is by Glytone. That's Glyton, and it's a Glytone brightening cleansing powder. And let's dive into kind of what's in that and how we're working with that. I personally have so many different ways I'm using it. On Sundays, this is silly, I know. On Sundays, I like to use the powder cleanser, just for everybody to understand it's powder, and you mix it with water. And with that, I it depends on the amount of runniness I want the cleanser to be, but it's more of a mask. On Sundays, I do my masking powder. So I make it more thicker and I just kind of sit with it on while I'm like taking a bath. And the reason why I like to do that is because it has AHA complex in it, glycolic acid. And one of my biggest things is it has mandelic acid. In one of our sessions before, we talked about mandelic acid. Mandelic acid is an acid derived from the center of an almond. It's very soothing and calming and very well known for its anti-aging ability as well for fine lines and wrinkles.
but
So
very gentle. It
exactly.
really is gentle, but
And
effective.
the thing I like about that is I have never personally, and I'm sure there's some out there, but I don't know any cleansers that has mandelic acid in it, which I think is so genius, along with niaminosides, which is obviously going to help brighten, improve texture, help tighten pores up a little bit, and the all over smoothness of the skin. So, Katie, why don't you share with me how it's kind of changed your skin a little bit?
So when I first received it, and Gina had mentioned that, oh, you can use it as a mask, a cleanser, so forth and so on. I thought maybe it was going to be a little harsher than it is because it's a
Mm-hmm.
powder and it has a lot of, ingredients that I really thought it wasn't going to be something I would use on a daily basis. But I have been using it probably about 2 weeks now on a daily basis at night. Also, I use it as a mask. Like you said, I will just leave it on, for a little bit, let it sit on my face. I feel like it's very exfoliating. It's it has given me like, I feel like a more even tone. I
You
just
look glowy.
and I have honestly, like, I have gotten in the last couple, like 2 weeks since I've been using it, a few people have said to me, "Oh, your skin looks really good." And, I don't I try to keep my skin nice, but you don't get those compliments all the time. And it just recently, a lot of people have been saying that to me. And like, that's really the only thing I added different. And
Mhm.
I can notice it. And it's not often that I notice a change because, you look at yourself every day. I'm always doing things to take care of my skin, doing peels or a laser treatment, something. So I don't notice big changes all the time. I just try to keep it consistent, but I have definitely noticed my skin feeling more smooth, better texture. My pores are closed. I love it.
I think too that people are trying to like wrap their brain around right now, like a powder cleanser. And I know there's
Mhm.
other powder cleansers out there, but they don't have the same active ingredients.
No, it's not
And
like any other powder cleanser I've ever used.
all of those acids I just talked about, it never strips my skin. In fact,
Not at all.
um, kind of moving into obviously talking about cleansers, briefing back, obviously if your skin's more sensitive, you don't want to use a lot of active acid based cleansers on your skin. But if you do, want a little bit more of some exfoliation and your skin more squeaky clean, you want to get something with more active acids in with it. But moving forward with that Glytone brightening cleansing powder we're discussing, Katie, I notice for myself when I move into my toners that I don't use toners every day. And we can talk more about that. But when I use that brightening cleansing powder, I have less residue on a soft 2x2 or like a soft gauze or cotton ball with my toner than I did when
When you
I would
weren't.
use a more gentle cleanser. And
Hmm.
because oftentimes even people in the med spa when I'm there every week, they're like, are you sure that this cleanser is going to, get everything because it's a powder base? And I'm like, actually, it's getting more for me.
Hmm. I
And
feel like my skin is so cleansed when I'm done,
mhm.
more so than any cleanser that I use.
And
I
it's
really
gentle
do.
enough where I have put it like right over my eyes.
Me too.
And I love acid-based cleansers, but obviously when you're working with heavier acid-based cleansers, don't put it by your eye. But this one, I've had no problem with the powder cleanser doing
I
so.
agree. And it stays put, it definitely doesn't get like soapy for
Mhm.
sure. It
It's
doesn't,
not frothy,
it's not at all. It's very, like almost gritty a little bit, but
tasty.
gentle,
Hmm.
pasty is
Hmm.
a good word. And so it doesn't run like down your face or in your eyes. It's easy to rinse off. It doesn't, it comes right off when I rinse it with water. I don't feel like it's like hanging, hard to get off. So I just think it's really like one of the most perfect products. I'm obsessed with it. Um, it is available on glytone.com.
Hmm.
I believe it's a
It's
really
Glytone
is a good,
USA, I think. It's Glytone USA.
okay, Glytone. Um, it is a price point. I think it's about
It's,
somewhere around 50. Yeah.
yep,
So it's not
yep.
unreasonable. And I really see it lasting a decent amount of time because you don't need a lot to cleanse with it.
And I also want to tell all of our listeners today and viewers, I guess, since we had the great idea to show our faces every day, even though we have the hustle and bustle of crazy, and we're doing it sometimes in an office or a closet, it doesn't matter. But I do want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, we are not, Katie and I are not people that are just sitting here because we're hired from these companies to talk about things based on their company to get credit to them. It's Katie and I diving deep into what we love and sharing our education and knowledge. So we don't have any ties to anything. We just talk about basically everything we love and don't love and talk about the truths and the myths of it. So I don't
Hmm.
want anybody to ever think that we're just constantly talking about certain things because we are paid to do so, because that's not the case. We
No,
are
it's not.
freely talking about what we want to.
Yes.
Um,
And I think that really the reason that we did this is because I know for myself that when I'm having conversations with people I train, people I teach, people I'm consulting, the information I'm giving them, they just want to hear it. Like they
mhm,
really are surprised by it, or it's something that they didn't know. And the reason I have the information is because I've been here for a while. I've
right.
been in the industry. I've heard a lot, seen a lot. So I can speak to all of those things from experience. I can speak to product, I can speak to treatments. from experience, and the same for you, Ashley. So we're just giving basically our experience. That's what we're here to do. Give you our experience. We're not here to say, we're not here to give anyone a bad rap. We want to give the products and the things that we love a good, review. But we're here to help the consumer to be able to navigate through their skincare in a
Right.
safe, effective way.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that we kind of shared that too, just because we've had a lot of
Yeah.
questions through emails and, oh, do you work for a certain company with this? And it's basically just two blondes
Two
talking about
blondes.
skincare.
Yeah. So okay. So we can get on, I know, and this is something Ashley and I can do, is we can go into like a zone and get on a tangent, and we're talking almost in another language
And we
that
understand it.
we get it, but I know that it can be confusing. So let's try to like pull back and break it down a little bit about, why don't we try to like break it down into 20 something and what products should absolutely be in their skincare routine, no doubt. 30s, people in their 30s, 40s, and so forth. And we can, say if you're doing nothing else, you should at least be doing this. And we can give some examples of products we like.
Perfect. So after cleansers, I want to talk a little bit about toner. So in my professional opinion, if you are somebody that has a lot of oil, somebody that wears a consistent amount of makeup, somebody that's going out and about in the air and environment, I think toners are a great thing. I personally don't use a toner every single day. I don't know about you, Katie. But I do love toners because they're going to remove impurities from the skin, the environmental havoc that we have daily going outside. It doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be a toner per se. I think there has been a lot of hype on micellar water, a lot in the last year or so in the industry. And I do love micellar water. I use it as my second cleanser. For all of you that don't know what micellar water is, it's going to be a more consistent purified water with a little bit of actives in it. And what that does is it's very gentle, but it's a liquid form. You can use it as a cleanser on its own, or you can use it as a toner. I personally never use it as a cleanser on my own unless I'm camping because it's convenient. I use it as a toner probably 3 to 4 times a week. So I would say somebody in their 20s that's more oily, that's probably wearing more makeup and getting through the hustle and bustle of testing out more makeup and going out and about and doing that. I think toners are important. I think it really helps kill a lot of the bacteria and get a lot of the dirt and debris off the skin.
Yeah. And it's like a second step after a cleanse. And it just is a reinforcement that all of your products and free radicals, any kind of dirt left over is off the skin, and it's really cleansed properly. Because you'll know if you use a cotton pad or something and you wipe, if there's still dirt on your skin, then the cleanse wasn't enough.
Correct. I think post that moving forward, anybody
one more thing about that, the micellar water. So with the masks, I told clients all the time, carry with you a little baggie with some of the water on a tissue or a napkin, whatever, and wipe just wipe under your mask periodically. Also, it's good if you go to the gym this is one of my biggest pet peeves, Ashley, that I know so many women do. You get up, you go to the gym in the morning, you work out, you sweat like crazy, you hang around, talk to a couple friends after your workout, your sweat has dried. You forget, you don't ever rinse your face. You go to the food store, you pick your kid up at school. Before you know it, it's dinner time. You're still in your leggings and you're still from the workout and you still haven't rinsed your face off. And then it's bedtime and you're going to wash and you're going to cleanse. That sweat and debris is on your face all day. And if we wonder why our pores are clogged, we wonder why we have little bumps on our face, there's your reason.
And just to kind of elaborate with that, when I trained a couple years ago for the Chicago Marathon and I would run like 20 miles and would be sweating and we would stop and we would stretch and talk, I would literally have sweat like crystallizing on my face because when you're, let's face it, running that much, it's happening. But people need to understand sweat is toxins.
It's
toxins we're having come out of our skin. So why wouldn't we take that off of our skin? Like that's, yeah, I totally agree with that.
At the least, go in the bathroom and rinse your face with cold water and pat it dry. Just
I mean, I would prefer not
get it.
doing that, but yes, that would be a good step.
It's better than doing nothing. Just
Absolutely.
really rinse. And then, when you do finally get home, cleanse your skin. Even if you're not going to get out of your leggings until dinner, whatever, I get it. Just get your face clean.
Absolutely.
And you'll see a huge change in a couple of weeks. If you continue to do this, you will see a change. You will have less breakouts. Your pores will be better. You'll definitely see a change.
So I think everybody over the age of 20 as well, and you may disagree or agree, I'm not sure. Everybody over the age of 20 needs a stabilized vitamin C in their regimen. They need a vitamin C daily.
I 100% agree. 100%.
So for everybody out there that is very simplistic, vitamin C is extremely important for your skin. It helps protect your skin from free radical damage with UV light out in your daily activities. I stress to people, you do not need a vitamin C at night. If you're using a good vitamin C, just use a vitamin C during the day.
Once a day, yes.
That is also an extra precautionary product that helps along with your sunscreen. Because like I said, it helps protect against UV damage.
It actually, when you get in a regular routine of using the vitamin C and it builds up in your skin, it will actually, if you just for some reason forgot your sunblock or, it will protect your skin, for a short period of time, because if you have it built up in your skin, it is really something that protects your skin from all of the dangers that are out there in the environment.
So kind of piggybacking on that too, Katie, I obviously have melasma, which we talked about in one of our sessions before. It's a masking of hyperpigmentation. So I'm very cautious on my arms and my chest because I have seen patients, it's not super common, but I have seen patients get melasma on their arms and their chest. And since I have it on my face in the summer months, I actually buy a product by Image Skincare, and it's their Vital C serum. And I love their Vital C serum because it's very thin, it's affordable, and it comes in a larger size for me. Or their Water Burst, and it has vitamin C in it. And the reason why I love it is I put it literally as a moisturizer underneath my sunscreen when I'm like out on the boat or at the cottage, as you'd like to not hear me. Yeah. So I like to use that just because it's very affordable and it's actually protecting me in another layer underneath my SPF. So that's a very good point that it builds and builds. So I absolutely agree with
definitely, that. It definitely does. I notice it. Like if I'm in the sun and, actually it just happened to me. I was outside in Florida walking around and I had put sunblock on in the morning, but I really should have reapplied, and we were just outside all day. And when we got home, I had a little bit of like pinkness in my arms and my shoulders, but my face was totally fine. And I think that when my sunblock wears off, using that vitamin C on a regular basis, it kind of like backs it up.
It's protecting
protects my skin.
So it's your backup. It's your backup plan.
And a vitamin C that I love, again, I know I'm really on the glytone, but I really do love their vitamin C antioxidant serum.
The new one, the C plus Advanced.
The C plus Advanced.
I love. I think one of the biggest things I love about the C plus Advanced antioxidant serum is the new formula has a different, and I know this is going to be silly for everybody else, but most vitamin C's or a lot of vitamin C's have a vitamin E in it. And I have a very big sensitivity to vitamin E where I have little bumps on my skin, but they have a new and improved vitamin E in this, and it's a stabilized vitamin E, and it's amazing. My skin never breaks out from it. A little bit goes a long way. And again, I think one of the biggest things is it has extra antioxidants in it. It's also going to help extreme measures with protecting against free radical damage, and it supports collagen health. I think that's one of the biggest things we've kept out with our vitamin C's to these listeners and viewers, Katie, is It helps promote collagen. Vitamin C's help promote collagen.
Mhm.
So, and that's a huge thing when we're aging. And that's why I say anybody 20 up. I do have some late teens on vitamin C's, but they don't have as many ingredient levels just because they're not looking for the anti-aging barrier as much.
Mhm.
But this C plus advanced antioxidant serum by Glytone, it retails
It's
at
great. And it's
$90.
so, yeah, and vitamin C can run expensive. Another
Absolutely.
popular C is the SkinCeutical C&E. It's been around forever. It's a great product, but it is, it is pricey. So
It is. And I do have to say one thing I disagree with the SkinCeutical serum because I've used it for years. I love the C&E with SkinCeuticals, but their formulation, it hasn't really evolved with the times.
mhm.
When you're opening a bottle of vitamin C and you keep opening that bottle, it's oxidizing with the air.
Mhm.
So over time, people that use vitamin C through SkinCeuticals, you might know this, or if they have a dropper form, it changes color a little bit. And the reason why is because air's gotten to it. So as much as I love their product, when I'm lower on their bottle, I know that that product isn't as effective as it was.
When you first received it. Mhm.
Exactly.
And that's very true. So you'll notice with the newer vitamin C's from different lines that are out there, they've changed the way that they package it.
Mhm.
A lot of them have a more like a close and turn. So it's completely, not exposed to
Sealed.
the sun.
Mhm.
Mhm. And it's important. Like I know sometimes we don't always close our products, but with a C, you always want to make sure you close
Absolutely.
it properly. So it has no, access to the air. Go
Another one
ahead.
of my favorite vitamin C's is by Isden. A lot of people don't know much about Isden. It's a company, I believe, from Spain. And Isden actually has little teeny glass ampule vials that's good for
Mhm.
3 days, and you crack them open because you want the most efficient and strong vitamin C on your skin. So I do love that one. And that's pretty affordable as well. Basically a lot of your C's are going to run anywhere from, if they're really good vitamin C's, I would say anywhere from like the $50-$60 mark all the way into like the $180 mark. So
Yes.
people need to be very aware that these products that aren't just drugstore products are going to have a little bit goes a long way. You can
They're
probably
not going to
get,
have, yeah, go ahead.
they're probably not going to be as thin of a product as you would normally in a department store or a pharmacy or Target. Not that any of those are bad. That's a great first step, but getting more into the pharmaceutical grade vitamin C line, I think that they're going to, a little bit more pricey, but it's probably going to last you a lot longer.
And it's going to be more effective. I don't like to say, if you're using something from the pharmacy or Sephora that, it's not okay.
Great. Right.
But the problem is a lot of times these products, they want to sell. And the way they sell is by packaging, one, color,
Mhm.
and fragrance is a big thing that people
Fragrance.
fall for.
Mhm.
You'll see that a pharmaceutical grade skincare, it's never going to have a scent or a pink in color if it's not supposed to be
Right.
pink. It might not even have the greatest texture all the time, but the reason is they're not adding things to make the product feel good. They're putting in there what is needed and what is beneficial to your skin.
For the skin.
So
Yep.
products like dimethicone that they will put into a product, all that is doing is making it feel good. It's giving it like a smooth feeling texture, but
Mhm.
it's also clogging your pores and negative, for your skincare. So you don't want these additives into your skincare that aren't necessary to be in there. And that is what, the issue can be with non-medical grade products.
I completely agree. I Is your
Oh my
doggy,
God, I can't
is he
stand these.
visiting us
They're
today?
bad. They're just bad.
I
And
love
that's
dogs.
that.
It's okay.
They just really can't do
But this
it.
is the part where people realize that we're real two human beings that, have a life. So
I think
it's
if my
great.
dogs could talk, they definitely are like, oh, she's about to get on her podcast. We got to really get crazy because every time they do this to me.
Well, I promise you one of these days my dog is going to do that, or my kids are going to stand at my glass window in my office and start like making faces at me. So,
That's
I think it's real. It's
Yeah,
real.
we're
It's good.
home and that's it. That's how it
Mhm.
is. But
Moving
okay.
forward, post the
So
vitamin
so far
C's.
we have cleansing,
Mhm.
toner,
Mhm.
and we are talking about how important a vitamin C could be for your skincare routine.
Oftentimes people say like, is it okay that I'm using more than one serum on my skin during the day? Katie and I could probably tell you it's okay to put like 4 serums on your skin, but we're going to try to keep it simple
Yeah.
because that's just us. So with that being said, I next in line, anybody that's having pigmentation issues, anybody that's having dryness to their skin, they could put on a hyaluronic acid if they wanted to, or they could put on a brightening serum during the day. And
Yes.
brightening serums should consist of probably having a little bit of kojic acid in them. Kojic acid is a really good natural acid. It's not like a bleaching agent or anything that they can put on their skin to help brighten their skin during the day. So with that being said, to be simplistic, I would just say starting with 2 serums would be great. And maybe in the future, we'll do a more advanced product, extreme advanced product run through.
So I think a lot of times too, Ashley, people think like, do I really need to layer these products? Like, is it really going to work? Absolutely. Your skin is going to absorb layering is good. And the serum always is going to come in the beginning before a moisturizer. That's another question I get all the time. Well, which one do I put on first?
Do you always tell people thinnest to thickest?
Yes.
You go with your thinnest to thickest.
And I get the question a lot. Do I have to wait in between, to let it absorb? So that's questionable to me. I usually do. I kind of like put it on, then I let it like get to it dry a little bit, and then I'll put the next layer on.
I
agree. Don't really mix them all together and just put them on,
And that is also something that I would like to say is a myth. Oftentimes people say, oh, I just mix them all together and they're going to work fine. That is a myth. You have to layer. If you don't layer, you're mixing all of these ingredients in together and not letting your skin fully digest each serum, each product. Yes. So that is definitely a myth.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't have to wait, some 20 minutes. Oh my gosh, I lost my camera. So there I'm back.
Okay.
You don't have to wait 20 minutes between products, but just like let it dry, like settle into the skin and then go to the next.
Okay, perfect. I agree. I agree with that. And I also think that your skin's going to digest it better.
Absolutely.
You're not going to have the same reaction if you don't layer it. So from there, let's talk a little bit about moisturizers. Moisturizers, obviously, when you're, 40 plus, you probably are going to need a little bit thicker of a moisturizer. Reason B, our skin over time when we age is going to get a little bit drier. I myself am still waiting for that day because I am very oily, as everybody can probably tell. The glow that people see when they watch us is not probably for makeup.
It's not a glow. It's really oil.
It's probably just oil in my skin. But and that is also another myth that I would like to go over. I've had people tell me, even dermatologists, even their doctor have said, oh, they don't think I need a moisturizer because I have really oily skin. That is not true. No. The reason why people's skin gets extremely oily when they don't use a moisturizer is because their barrier is compromised and it's just excessive oil. But if you balance your skin out with a lightweight moisturizer, you're going to see more beneficial results.
So there's a state that our skin is in when it's in a perfect sync. Where it's happy. It has the perfect amount of oil production. Just everything is flowing perfectly, right? Sebum is but the fact, like, who's in that state all the time? Nobody. We all have skin issues. We have dryness, oily. So, but our goal is to get there, to get to that spot. So, a lot of times people say my skin is so dry. Well, then I see them and I take a look at their skin. Their skin's not really dry. Their skin is just not exfoliated. So when you have constant flaking on the skin, it doesn't, and you're moisturizing all the time and it's not getting better, most of the time that means you need to exfoliate.
Mhm.
It's not, because just think of it like if you're trying to exfoliate, I mean, if you're trying to moisturize a leather couch and your objective is to get the moisture into the cushions of the couch, not the actual leather. Well, if you keep putting moisturizer on the leather, what's going to happen? It's going to absorb it. It's never going to get down into the cushion of the couch.
It's
So
just going to sit superficially.
it's going to suck up into that dead, dry leather. Same
Yep.
thing. If you put moisturizer on dead skin that's sitting on top of your face, all that's going to happen is it's going to be absorbed into the dead skin, and it's never going to get into the dermal layer where it needs to go to do its job. So this is why we exfoliate. When we're young, our skin exfoliates every 28 days naturally. And that's why young people's skin is, looks bouncy and youthful. And
Hydrated.
as we get older, it slows down. So we have to kick in and do it. We have to do the exfoliation ourselves.
And that's where you can have exfoliation with active acids in your cleansers or using a toner. Katie, just want to stop for a minute. I know I love seeing your beautiful picture of your face on the camera, but do you realize you're not on camera?
I'm not.
No.
Oh, I can't. I see myself.
I see your beautiful photo, but I
I
don't
don't
see
know
you.
what is okay. Hold on. Just give me a second.
So just so everybody knows, Katie and I, again, we love talking skincare, but we're not the most tech savvy people.
Oh, you have no
So
idea. Like this
we
is not
try.
like if anybody's watching this who is a friend of mine, they're just definitely laughing. Like because
There you are.
hi. It's really bad.
It's
But
okay. It's okay.
we're
We're human.
trying. This is all, this is it. This is real.
Yep, here we are.
But
So
what I was
with,
just,
go
about
ahead.
the skin turnover, a lot of people don't realize that. And we can't compare ourselves to our child who's 20 something, or you can't look at, if you're in your 50s, your 40s, and you're looking at someone in their 20s you can't say, oh, you like that product? Let me grab it. Everybody at a different age needs different things for their skin. Everybody for different conditions needs different things for their skin. A product might be amazing for me and not be great for you. It's a matter of getting a consultation, talking to a professional, letting them give you advice on different things that you can start with. Listening to this podcast, if it means today inspires you to get a great cleanser and start using a vitamin C, that's amazing, because that's going to really change your skincare game.
And I feel like even if we have one person do that, I feel like we've won today.
Mm-hmm.
So another product I want to talk about as well, that you can layer underneath a moisturizer is by Epiance. I don't know, Katie, have you used much with Epiance skincare?
Are you going to say the renewal?
I love the Lytics. So the
okay.
Lytics are a texturizing product that really helps with oil production. Obviously, and it just triggered me when you said, you're not going to want the same thing as somebody in their 20s if you're 50 or vice versa. I started out with Epiance years ago, and they have a very customized product that no other company has. And it's lytic, and it has it has amazing properties in it, but one of the best is azelaic acid, and it has multiple different forms of it and different depths of the azelaic acid, or the different percentages of azelaic acid. And I started out with a heavier azelaic acid in my pre-moisturizer. I would say it's more of a serum right before moisturizer, and that was 15 years ago. And now moving into my upper 30s, I'm using a completely different product of the Lytic that has less azelaic acid that preps my skin before I put on a moisturizer. But yes, Renewal Lotion, Light Lotion, and Renewal Cream are some of the Epiance products that I know and love, and I'm sure you do too.
Yes.
But I love that they have different forms. They have different formulations for their products for somebody that is oily, maybe combination, maybe dry. And a lot of product lines don't have that. They just have like a one and done, like, oh, this is the cream that you should use. But
yes,
that's where people need to do their homework and understand what they should be using.
And go somewhere and get a consult by an esthetician and just get some basic information, because there are so many products out there. It's crazy. We could never ever address all of the products out there. And there are so many amazing products out there, but you have to find what works for you. I know the things that I like the best, that I like to put on my skin. I know the things that work for my skin, that when I'm using them, my skin absolutely looks its best. But changing it up is important too. We can talk about that. You can't just use the same product forever. It's good. It's like we talk about washing our hair with shampoo, and then you love the shampoo. 3 months later, you're like, this shampoo is not doing
It's got to
anything for me.
switch. Right.
It's similar. You have to challenge the skin, change it up a little bit, go from one routine for maybe 3 or 4 months, then put that aside and do another routine. But the basics will always stay the same. It's always important to cleanse, the tone, vitamin C, a moisturizer. At night, we didn't even talk about one of the most important things we need at night for, an aging person.
Which I honestly say there's so many different forms. You're going to go into retinol, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there's so many different forms. And I think it's nice that the times have changed so much in the industry where somebody in their late 20s can definitely start doing a retinol. I always
absolutely.
tell people in their mid 20s, start it.
Absolutely start it, and just start it on the lower side. Aven, let's talk about theirs because
Amazing.
I'm obsessed with it. I can be sensitive. I really can to a retinol. Like I have used a 0.5 and it had an issue. So after I used it too many days in a row or for a certain amount of time, I can be sensitive. Their product, I don't have any problems with. It doesn't ever cause me to have sensitivity.
I absolutely love the Aven Triac Nail Night. I don't know if you've ever used that. I love it because I get breakouts still here and there. I'm very oily, as we talked about. They have a product called Triac Nail Night. It has papaya enzymes in it and a 0.1% retinaldehyde, a retinol acid, which is so nice because I have the exfoliation, I have the bacteria killing ingredients, and I have the retinoid in it as well. So it's kind of like a one and done, and then you can use a moisturizer over if you need to. But the Aven retinol is so gentle, so moisturizing that sometimes I don't even need a moisturizer over.
You don't, and they have an eye retinol. I love it, and I would think like this is going to be too much. I'm already sensitive, and then it's perfect, and I see really, really great results. So Aven, their skincare line, if you have more sensitive skin, it's a great line to check out. And really they have everything that you could need in that we've talked about today. And it is just an amazing product line.
And it's extremely affordable as well. So if anybody ever wants to go visit their website, it's Aven, AVENE, USA.com, I believe. And it's very, very inexpensive products, but there's so many other retinol hydrates out there. There's so many other retinols out there.
And again, just speak to someone who has some information, some knowledge about products, and say, what would be a good retinol for me to start with?
Right. And also, I think that, Katie, your advice is amazing, that if people are so overwhelmed with med spas and the treatments and they're not ready for the treatments, do a consultation and get educated on just the products. If you're doing, and again, we always say this, Katie, 80% of your skincare is at home. So 20% is in office. If you're not ready to make the plunge to do in-office treatments, go get a consultation somewhere to just start on the products.
It's unbelievable. I get the question all the time. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do to my skin? What treatment should I get? Well, my first answer is, what are you doing right now? What are you doing at home? Because before I do any treatments or even talk about a treatment, let's get that in order. And once we get that in order and we see how your skin reacts to that, then we'll see what you really need. Because a lot of times I'll get people on a really good regimen of skincare, and all of a sudden their skin is, 50% better than it was when we started. So it can make huge changes in your skin, exfoliating, doing the right thing to your skin. You won't believe how much it can change your skin.
And I also feel that, when people come in to see me for consultations, I'm very honest with them. I tell them, I would rather get you on a skin regimen for 2 weeks to prep your skin,
Mm-hmm.
to get it to where it needs to be, for the absorption rate to be a positive one when we're doing treatments on you in office. I would
Mm-hmm.
actually have to say 90% of the time, I want them to go right into either doing a calming facial or their barrier strip or
Yep.
doing skincare at home. The only thing I do in the laser division that I work in that I can do right off the bat without their skincare being addressed is the Aerolase Neo, because I
Yes.
know it's going to penetrate through the
And it's
skin.
going to help. It's going to help the absorption. It's going to help everything for the product, but it's
That's
not, and it's not aggressive.
and that's probably the only laser that I can, sleep at night saying, oh yeah, I would recommend that treatment and then start your products tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I really try to put people on a 2 week. Let's get this is
Well,
your
we just
skin
did
boot
that
camp.
with my cousin. That,
Yep.
my cousin was having some issues with some breakouts, and Ashley set her up with a really good at-home routine, and that she's going to do that for a little bit, and then we're going to start some Aerolase Neo treatments, and see, if we can get everything under control. And I really believe that her skin is just not getting what it needs. So its reaction to that is breakout. And I think once we get it in order, things will change.
I think it will all come together nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And just so everybody knows, Katie, obviously her and I and her cousin live in completely different states, but I ended up doing a virtual consult through the med spa that I work at every week. And that's skinbossmedspa.com. And you can do virtual consultations with any one of our professional educators. And we can get people on a routine just to even help them at home. I have so many patients around, I have patients in England, we have patients in the US, we help people all around. So, and they're complimentary virtual consultations because we want people to be educated. We want to get that out there. So I have the pleasure and privilege to meet Katie's cousin over Zoom, which is crazy because she looks like Katie and she talks like Katie, but they're not even blood related. So it's crazy.
We just spend time together.
I'm excited to see her skincare journey.
And we'll have to put a before after picture of her up onto the podcast to show how much change skincare can make. So here we are. It's getting a little late into the podcast, so I think that we can do a quick recap of what we said was important for you to start with your skincare, and then we'll talk about some truths and myths.
I just have to say, we went through, because we're trying for all of our viewers to wrap this up within, 50 minutes. And there's a lot with skincare, and we'll go dive deeper into it in one of our other podcasts. But one thing we forgot, Katie, is probably the most important part.
Oh, it's definitely, I'm like I can't even believe it.
The SPF.
Yeah.
We completely forgot SPF during our day. So
it's almost like SPF. It's a no-brainer. Like, of course you have to, that is your final step in the morning. It has to happen.
Yes. So why don't I know we're going to get through to our truths and our myths. I want you to tell me two of your favorites for each step right now. Two of your favorite product lines for each step.
For each step. Okay. So let me do cleansers. I am a big fan of Obagi Gentle Cleanser. I've been using it for a really long time. It works for my skin. I just really like it. It's my go-to when my skin's stressed, or, it works. I use it in the morning. I really love it. And I'm going to have to say the powder cleanser by Glytone. I'm a major fan.
So my two are Epion's Gentle Foaming Cleanser, because I love that it's so gentle. I go right over my eyes with it. It takes off any makeup. I don't care if people are wearing spackle. It breaks right through it. And my second would be the Glytone Exfoliating Brightening Powder. Let's talk about toners or micellar waters.
Okay, so toners, I use the Obagi toner again. I've been using that for a really long time. I don't use it every day, but I do use it when I feel like I had a lot of makeup on, or, my skin doesn't feel like I really got it clean. And I also love the Aven micellar water. I use that.
So I will piggyback on that. Aven micellar water I absolutely love because it's so gentle, and I use it to remove my makeup on my eyes and my lips if I've had like a stain on my lips. I love
Mhm.
that. And just traditional thermal spring water by Aven.
Oh,
I love that because it balances out your pH in your skin so that
that
way
is
things
the
can absorb.
really, if everyone should have a can of that, like in their car, in their kitchen,
Mhm.
and in their bag, because I use it all the time. I just give myself a little spray. I just love it. It makes your skin feel so much better. I actually use it as a primer, after if I
Put
put
your
some
makeup on. Yep.
and I love it. Gives you a nice glow. And it really is. One day we'll have to talk a little bit about this water, this Aven magic water
The
from
magic
these
water from the Aven
springs.
rivers.
So we'll talk about
Um,
that's a whole day.
so your vitamin C's.
So my vitamin C that I'm using right now is the advanced plus the
The C plus
glycerin
advanced.
C. And I also really like Skin Medica's C&E.
Yeah.
I've used that a lot over the years, and I've always had a lot of, success, and I like how it makes my skin.
Nice. I am using the C plus advanced right now as well. And I think I talked about earlier in the podcast. I love the Isden Flavo C, which is in little teeny vials.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's easy when I'm like on the road and traveling. I can just take a little vial and I know it's good for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be, my top two. I love Image Vitamin C with the price point. When you're looking for somebody that's younger, I love that. I put it on my
And
body. So
where would we be able to find the image? Do they have a website or?
Image does. I believe it's image.com. And then the ISDN one I was talking about is ISDIN.
Yes,
.com.
ISDI. And Isden also has a great sunblock. So.
That was going to be my favorite when we talked about sunblock.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite moisturizers right now?
So when it comes to moisturizers, I am a big fan of a lighter moisturizer because I can be oily. I love Aven's hydrogel. Am I right? What is no aqua gel?
Aqua
The
gel. Oh, I
aqua gel.
love it. I am masking that in the winter. I
I
love
really
aqua
use
gel.
that. I use that every day. I love it. It
Love.
it just works really well for me. Um, what other moisturizers do I love? I don't know, I'm gonna have to think because I really have like a lot of different moisturizers. I like to use an oil sometimes if I'm
Mhm.
really dry, like a rose hip, some type. So I do change it up with my moisturizers. It kind of depends on where I feel like my skin is.
Awesome. I am loving, which I know you haven't tried yet because it's brand new. It's the HA Plus Smoothing Hydra Cream. It's a hyaluronic acid based cream from Glytone, of course. It's very, very thin. I love that it has tons of different properties and antioxidants in it. And it also has some vitamin E in it as well and glycolic acid. So it helps exfoliate because, again, I'm oily. And I do love the Epiance Renewal Light Facial
I
Lotion.
I like that too a
It
lot.
works great.
Yes.
And
I think
then
moisturizers there's so many. There are so many. So you really have to like go through and see what's going to work for your skin.
absolutely. And then for SPFs, what's your favorite?
SPF, I have to go with my old favorite, Elta MD. I just feel like it is such a
great
great
product.
price point. It's a great product. It's easy to get people to buy it because they don't mind spending, say $35 on it.
It comes in a tint and a
it
non-tint.
comes in a tint and a non-tint. It comes in a sport, a daily. Elta MD has really stepped up their line. They actually have a lot of products now that are really nice. They have an AM therapy moisturizer that I really love. They have a gentle cleanser. So they're another brand that's coming, get expanding. So to take a look at Elta MD, and they really do have a nice price point.
Nice. I love the Isden that we talked about before. It comes in a tint and a non-tint. One thing that stands out to me with the Isden is it has Reparasomes. Reparasomes, for everybody out there, is a product that actually can help decrease your damage levels from UVA and UVB damage in the skin over time, and it helps protect your skin with an SPF 50 as well. And it's 100% mineral. I'm loving the new Glytone Serum SPF 40 that we talked about a couple sessions ago.
I like that too. Yes.
just because I am a little bit more on the oily side. And I do like an Image Matte Oil Free SPF 32, which is
So there's
amazing.
all of these, there's a lot of good products
I feel
out
like we
there,
do a lot of SPF. We try a
Mhm.
lot of SPF, Katie, which is a
Yes.
good thing. Everybody should be doing SPF, good
Absolutely.
SPF.
Hmm.
And then at night, we both said we love our retinols.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes. It's so important.
I
And I am
also
with a Ven right now with my retinols for sure.
I actually would say I am as well. Another product is the Isden Melatonic. Melatonic is an oil. It has squalene oil in it, and it also has melatonin in it while your body's at rest. It's a natural form of retinol, and it just triggered me when you said oil. How you like oil, Katie?
I do
I
sometimes.
want I want you to try that. It's amazing.
Okay.
One of the other things I love is the Peptide Plus Overnight Restorative Cream from
Hmm.
or from Glytone that
Very
just came
nice.
out.
Hmm.
I love it because it has the glycolic acid properties in it as well. If you are taking a break from your retinols. And then we didn't even get into eye cream. We have to
I know
jump
this
back.
is
We have
just
to
crazy.
jump
We
back on
have
our
to do
session.
another episode of
In
skincare.
a couple weeks, we should definitely do, or in the next month or two, we should definitely do another skincare episode
Yeah.
because we could talk all day with this.
But if you want to change something from listening today, try, add a C. Make sure you're using a retinol. Get, don't be afraid to use two different washes, a gentle and a more aggressive. Go on some of these different brands that we spoke about, aven.com, avene.com, Elta MD. What else? Isdin, ISDIN. What other product lines?
Image,
Image.
IMAGEU, Glytone, GLYTON, USA.com.
Skin Medica. Go on
Yes.
their websites and check it out. Read through. We talked about the products, but let's, go through, look at the different products that they have available and, see if, you want to give that a try.
And another product line, because we are running short on time, that I absolutely love and everybody should take a look at their website is Skin Better Science.
Yes. Yes. I love them too.
They have so many very unique customizable blends with their Alpha Rets, which is a AHA and a retinol blend, which I'm obsessed with as well. There's just so much out there that Katie and I can't even do 1 hour's worth. So a myth, do not mix all your serums together during the day. You need to layer them. That is a myth. Don't mix them all together. It is a myth that you should only be using one product when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. It is a truth that you can double cleanse your skin, as we know. Any myths or truths that you can think of, Katie?
I think they were some good ones you had there. I'm trying to think of that I'm not really sure. I can't think of one.
It is true that vitamin C helps protect you along with SPF. That's a good one.
Yes, it is true that you definitely can use your vitamin C in the morning and it's not necessary to use it at night. Just make sure you have your retinol at night.
Yes. And make sure you're using an SPF if you're using a retinol because it will make you more photosensitive.
Yeah, it will make you so much. And here's a good one. You don't have to use your retinol every day. It's okay to do it every other day or every third day, depending on how your skin is reacting to it.
Perfect. I think I want to go. What do you think about next podcast? We haven't talked much about injectables.
No, and I think that's I think we should talk about injectables. And I think we should talk about not just what injectables are, how they work, because it gets to the point where sometimes people don't even know that there's a difference between a filler and Botox. They don't even know that they're two different things. So we might have to get very elementary, but we can do that. But I also want to talk about how fillers and Botox are great. They really are. They work and they're a great go-to for, certain areas, but the integrity of your skin is not going to get better by getting injectables. Okay?
And let's talk about that next time, about how products promoting injectables help. And there is a segue between both of those to intertwine.
Yeah, don't go to injectables to fix everything. You need to work on your skincare, to work on that integrity of the skin, and use the injectables for an enhancement, not for to change everything, because you want to look like yourself.
Absolutely. And when we're on this topic, Katie, I think I want to bring a very special guest on, somebody that
Okay.
I've worked alongside for the last 11 years. I'm pretty sure she'll be ready to do it since she listens to our podcast and loves them. And I would love for her to educate too.
I'm
So
excited because
in
I did
2
have the
weeks, let's do
pleasure of
that.
meeting her briefly, but I haven't, really got to hear all her
Yeah.
knowledge. So that would be amazing.
Well, let's wrap this up. And thank you, everybody, for listening to Katie and I on Peeling Back the Truth and seeing us and all of our, malfunctions today with electronics and
Yes, of
all
course.
that fun stuff. As we're talking right now, my son is staring at me like, Mom, what are you doing? And I'm like, go away. So, all right. Well, Katie, it was wonderful talking with you. And also to all of our listeners and viewers, Katie and I get to be together next weekend at a little summit thing for a physician
in Ohio,
Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio. So we're so excited. Hopefully we can have some footage and bring it to the, to our podcast somehow.
Into our websites. My website, ashleybunks.com, ASHLEEBUNKS.com. And then Katie, you have yours if you want to share.
Yep. KatieCutler.com, CATIE, Cutler, CUTLER.com.
And soon we will mesh our websites together.
Yeah, we're about to mesh them together and have like a
an easier form for everybody. So hopefully we get pictures and video and we'll share that with everybody. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And hopefully you took back some information that's helpful for all of you. And we appreciate you always listening and seeing us.
Bye.
Bye.